Let's just start. Laura Raki, how you doing today?
I'm great.
You're looking, as always, A++. What's going on here today?
Thank you. I don't know what's going on here today. These are really cool. They're assembly label. They're called Lola. They're a bit viral. They went out of stock. I got them. They're just like parachute-y, cottony fabric.
Sort of like MC Hammer sort of
A little
situation.
MC Hammer, barrel leg. I got this on.
Barrel leg. I love the barrel leg.
You know, I just want to be like comfortable and have some shape in my clothes. It's fun.
The unfortunate thing for you and for anyone who's watching this is that with the way that we do a lot of these edits, we don't get to see your magnificent fashion. So what we should do is do background videos and then release them and say, hey, here's the actual, you know, and then like connect all the...
I'm just having fun
What's
with
that
my clothes.
LTK. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm now a creator on LTK.
All right, you can take the shimmy out of it.
Oh, it's exciting.
Oh, it is exciting. Actually, it's pretty wild. Tell us what LTK is.
It's really cool. You can upload your outfits,
Yeah.
videos, photos or whatever, and then you can link directly to the shoes and the clothes and the this and the that. Yeah, no gatekeeping here. My only thing is that a lot of my wardrobe, as much as you think I am purchasing new things constantly,
Why would I think that?
it's nowhere near what you would expect from somebody who's online, you know, promoting clothing. A lot of my wardrobe is like old seasoned stuff.
No, it's true. And I mean, we're getting into, you know, I remember we had a conversation. You had a conversation with me like
Where's
some
this
years
going?
ago. No, you'll be okay. Is that you're like, you moved away from fast fashion
Yeah.
and you moved to quality, right? And that was quite some years ago. And the dopamine kick you used to get out of buying a thing here or a thing there started to dissipate,
Yeah.
particularly as it crumbled in 3 weeks. And then you're like, well, no, I'm going to buy less and better. And let's be honest, your wardrobe reflects it. Like,
You
you've
know
got
what?
quality
I
everywhere.
think there was one year when I did a clean out.
Yeah.
And I filled like a garbage bag and I looked at it and I was like, this is stuff I have bought in the last 12 months.
Junk. Yeah.
And it was just junk. It was things I hadn't really thought about. And I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. This is ridiculous. So yeah, much more mindful.
I almost segued us into a topic. So there's a campaign going on in Australia right now called Back Australia. Now, I
Okay.
don't know if it's going to catch fire or not, but
Back Australia.
I just want, is there any more Australian than Back Australia, mate? Come on, cobber, right? Anyway, it's like all these CEOs, Country Road, Bunnings, I think, maybe like the big box retailers are saying that they're competing against these Temu and their Shein. Is it Shein or Shein?
Shein. I don't know. I
Yeah.
call it Shein.
And these other like really low cost distributors, which of course people are buying by the. I think they. I read the stats, Ozpost numbers on their increase. It's off the scale how much they've increased, and they're just getting decimated by fast fashion, fast toys, and it's just going all to landfill. And of course, they're competing in a market where they don't have labour laws, they don't have like environmental regulations, modern slavery, any of the stuff that goes into wages, like minimum wage,
No super.
superannuation.
No paid leave.
So all this stuff that Australian locals are dealing with, and they're fighting against these fast fashion junk, right? And I'm interested. I'm not going to go on about it too much. We'll follow it in the next couple of months, but I'm interested to see where it goes, because if you allow, so we're an open market. If you allow foreign nationals to keep coming in with this low cost, and not on a level playing field, the cost base is built in to an Australian business, right? And let me finish. And they're coming in under the rug, right? That's one. But then there's the other side. Australian business doesn't innovate at all. Is lazy and is uncompetitive,
Well,
right?
but Australian business isn't. A lot of those brands that you mentioned, they're not manufacturing here.
No, forget manufacturing, selling here. So let's say you have even simple modern slavery supply chain, right? That alone is X cost. Even if you manufacture in China, you have to demonstrate that.
Are they demonstrate?
Are
I'm
they?
playing
I'm not
devil's
sure.
advocate
Yeah,
here, right?
Okay, the cost of having paying tax in Australia, right, on their profit.
Yep.
Yeah, they're using low cost centres. Of course they are. You can't. I mean, they can't manufacture here because of the cost of business, which is a problem in itself. But anyway, I don't know how I got in this segue, but this is something I'm going to track in the next few months, and maybe we'll talk about it every few weeks.
Yeah.
And just to see how this campaign's going, because we have got, if we let this happen, like, I'm not a protectionist guy,
No.
but if you just let, there's never been a China manufacturing centre with distribution in the history of mankind. There's never been anything like. So we're dealing with something new, and a lot of the regs in business in Australia are not built for e-commerce.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we've got.
No, I get it.
They're getting punched from
There's
places
just
they
like
can't see.
so many things to think about. It's like, you know, I know you're saying you're not protectionist, and so then I say, well, should not everybody have access to all sorts of things at their budget price point?
Yeah,
right? Like it's great for people to jump online and say, buy slow fashion, only buy Australian made, blah, blah, blah. It's
Well,
like,
it cuts out 70% of the market.
It's price prohibitive,
Yes.
right? So I don't know what the answer is.
So, by the way, and this is what the CEO of, I think, Country Road was saying, we're not going to stop people buying from these places, but what there might be is just ways to be more competitive for local business. And that might involve local business having to be sharper and or changing the market that they play in. You're right, like they go further up the value chain and let the cheap stuff come underneath.
Yeah.
And then, anyway, we'll track it back Australia, but back to your fashion. It's an interesting move that you made, and now you've got less stuff but more quality.
I think so. I take longer to make a decision to buy something than I used to, like a lot longer. I want to raise something.
Go on.
When we talk about manifesting and, you know,
We love manifesting.
you know, I dropped it on you that we were going to compete in pickleball for purpose for Big Group Hug.
It's funny, I was going to talk. How long away is that? What date is that?
It's in a week.
Uh-oh.
And what have you done to yourself?
I have
Christian
a slight ankle
Cunningham?
injury. Is it only in a week?
Yeah, well,
That's gonna
you're
be
out.
That's going to be a problem.
So now we have to find a sub. Who's going to play with me?
During a work day?
Yes.
Huh.
Anyway, did you manifest this?
No. I was actually looking forward to it. I was hoping it was another month away, but it's only next week. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? There's no chance. I'm in no chance.
Anyway, you're still on crutches, so we will.
Who could play?
I don't know.
Anyway, that's boring.
Andre Agassi, Pat Rafter.
Why don't you message him?
I will. I'll just call
Why don't
them
you
up.
manifest Pat Rafter?
Okay.
Just be like,
Mark Philippoussis. I feel like he would get
might
on
be
board
a bit powerful.
to hit the thing.
Oh yeah, it might hurt people. He had a cannon of a serve.
You think I'm going to be gentle?
God, what the hell are we talking about?
And sorry, the other thing I just want to raise as well
Yes.
is I have booked us for 2 events in 3 days at the end of the month. How do you feel about that?
Why would you do that?
Because that's when they're on.
No, I know the events you're talking about. I'm actually excited about both of them. They're both going to be fun. But look, we have gone through it because, you know, if you had said that to me 10 years ago, you've got any event booked actually for that matter, probably 15 years ago, I'd be cold sweat. It'd be like
I know.
Any sort of social interaction was problematic for me 20 years ago. I would be layered in anxiety. Let's segue to anxiety in a moment. In anxiety for an event in advance. Not so much anymore.
That's good.
I've worked pretty hard at it look, most people would meet me and look at me and think this person's like very high in extroversion and, you know, but never. Like it's a massive introvert. Groups of people drain my battery to zero, like you. There's a lot of people like that, by the way, who don't give it away, who maybe you wouldn't know. If you saw us 4 hours after an event, it would be very clear that we're introverts. We're
Fetal
laying on the
position.
floor, drooling. You know, and 2 days later when we haven't moved, but for
So
big events.
It's going to have to be very intense battery refueling in between the two.
Yeah. No, I think we're going to be okay. We'll just leave early.
That's always our way to get us there, right? We'll just go,
And we can just leave any time.
say hi to everybody, and then we can go.
Yeah, we can leave any time.
By the way, I enjoy things. I enjoy people,
Of course.
but I find it really hard.
It's just a bit overwhelming. Some people get a bad rap who go to social events and are sort of like not very social, and you're like, oh, this person's rude. Often, in a lot of cases, it's that they don't understand how introverted they are and how much it actually drains their battery to be around other people.
I've changed a lot over the years. I can very easily put it on, right? I
Yeah.
can be very extroverted,
Yeah.
life of the party, cracking jokes, doing it all. I can
Yes.
do it. But boy, it hurts. It really hurts me. And so I pick my moments for that type of behaviour now. And I might sometimes come across as that bitchy person who's quiet.
Right.
Because
you're a good example, yes.
I kind of now, I've made a decision that if no one else around me is going to give the effort, I'll match the energy around me. And I'm not saying that, by the way, in like a mean, nasty,
Not at all.
I'll match your energy. No, it's like, well, I'm not required to lift the energy of this room.
But
I used to feel responsible for that.
There was a time, both of us, I felt exactly the same independently, by the way, is that it felt like it was my responsibility in a room without energy is to lift the energy, drive the energy, right?
And sometimes you've got it in you and you can do it.
Yeah.
But so now, you know, if you ever see me and I'm sitting quietly, I'm very happy to be there, but I'm just going to quietly observe.
Yeah. And like, if there's 100 people in a room, I'm very happy in the 3 people in the corner, right? And having deep conversation, because you know how we are with small talk. So people have asked me, what's the let's just start, what does it mean, right? And it actually means we don't like small talk. It's like there's not this pro forma filler of 10 minutes. Oh, how was your day? Great. How was your day? Fantastic. Like, no, we're like, right, tell me what you think about what if the Russians had not come into the Second World War?
I do that to clients in phone calls and meetings where I enjoy like having that catch up with them.
Of course.
But at some point, someone has to get to the business.
You talked about your Kanye face.
I'm very Kanye. I'm like, oh yeah, so how's the weather and how are the kids? Right. So this contract now, let's go and talk to, there's no natural gentle segue.
No, so you're the bludgeon segue. Yeah, you're straight into it.
I'm like, yeah, anyway, so Halloween, trick-or-treating, cool. All right, so let's deal with this negotiation.
Yes.
What are we going to do?
So it doesn't become a Halloween nightmare. So that's how you segue.
We will report back
On
after our 2 events and see how we went.
Hang on. What are you going to do about pickleball? Anyway, we'll talk about that.
I don't know.
Off-air.
Can I play by myself?
No, you probably could.
Maybe I might see if someone in the big group hug team wants to join me.
You could get
Who?
the teenager.
Nah. He's got a school.
Who cares? Joking. All right. I've got some topics. I've thrown out schedule. But the topics are on the phone
I feel like
today,
I threw it out for you
because
already.
we don't normally shoot this early in the morning and we're not exactly prepared. So I've got interesting one. We've actually sort of touched on a few of them already. I'm going to play the role of a client calling you and saying, I want to set up a new business. You're going to give me some advice, right?
Okay.
Not legal advice. You're going to give me like your business advice. This is what you need to know. A few ways I want to talk to you about how we deal with anxiety when it's actually rising. I think that's useful. There was a question on one of the social media platforms about how to deal with competitive colleagues.
Yep.
And that's a really interesting topic. I'm not sure if we're going to answer this person's question. I'm not going to put them on blast, but we're going to do our best to sort of give some ideas. I wanted to follow on a bit from the rejection topic of the last thing, but maybe we won't get to it. We'll see how we go. And I've got a couple of other topics. Oh, you've got hoarding contacts and not making introductions. Again, events. Like, we've accidentally stumbled into all our subtopics already. We're done. Let's go home.
Okay. Please, I've got things to do.
Okay. So what do you want to start with?
Your
Given
call.
we have 10 minutes, I think.
Your
pretty
call.
much.
You call me. You started a new business, and I'll just like
Okay.
freestyle.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hi, Laura. I'm
Stop
thinking,
it.
no, I'm only joking. All right, so Laura, Raki, I'm calling you because I'm going to start a new business. I'm excited, right? I've never done this before.
No, I think you're getting the setup all wrong.
Okay, why don't you tell me about this? Why don't you play both roles?
What I think is interesting to think about and have a conversation about is a newly established business. You know, everyone gets very excited. Sometimes they've got a customer or a client, and so they're confident to leave their employment, kick off the business and get started, right? And of course, because you want that safety net of the cash coming in.
Yep.
And you just hit the ground running, right?
And you work it out as you go.
You work it out as you go, right? So
I encourage people to do that, by the way. Like, as in, don't let bureaucracy stop you for a year or
There's
two.
so much to do early on.
Yeah.
And so often clients will call me and they have got something really, like maybe they're asking for, I don't know, a website terms and conditions. By the way, unless you've got some complex website, don't spend money on a lawyer. drafting something like that. I'm sure you can work it out yourself.
Come back to the point.
Anyway.
We'll come to that at the end. We'll come to that sort of advice
Anyway,
of what you need to spend and
so
not.
I'll get a call. There'll be a very specific ask. And then I can't help myself because, well, firstly, I'm excited for the person. But then I think, okay, well, what have you not thought about?
Yes.
Because, you know, they are an expert in whatever business they're starting, not in all the compliance
And starting
stuff.
a business, and it's very annoying. It's
So,
very
you know,
finicky.
I'll start with, well, have you got employment agreements in place?
Okay, employment agreements.
Have you got your structure set up? Like, have you spoken to an accountant? Have you got the framework?
Park that, because I want to get into that
Okay.
in more detail.
Then we might talk about insurance. So you've got to go and see a broker. Talk to a broker who knows your area
Yep.
of what you're selling, what your services are, to make sure you're properly insured. Then make sure you've got your statutory employment insurance in place. So in Victoria, it's WorkSafe.
Yes.
I think it's Work Cover. I don't know, whatever.
Work care. They change it every 6 months. I
Anyway,
think because they're phoenixing. I'm joking.
All of the states have their own statutory insurance
Yeah.
regimes for employment. What else? You've got your customer contracts, so the contracts
Yes.
that you...
Terms of trade.
Terms of trade, whatever it is with the people who are buying things from you. And then you're going to be dealing with suppliers. So what does that framework look like? So they're kind
Leases.
of... Pardon?
Leases. Premises.
Leases. Look, you know, lots of time people are not starting out with a lease.
I understand that, but that's something it's on
Yep,
the list.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of things early on, and not everything has to be this great, big, expensive thing.
On the contrary.
And what I'll generally do is we will list all of these things out, and then we start a bit of a triage, because often these businesses don't have all this cash to start splashing on
Yep.
legal stuff. So, you know, you might, I would be like, go and get your insurance ASAP, please. Both types of insurance.
Yes.
And then we triage. Other things would be our favourite topic, shareholder stuff.
Yes.
So
yes.
if you're in business with somebody, get that documented right.
Okay, let's have that conversation now. So
Okay.
let's fast forward 5 years.
Yeah.
So someone sets up a business at the start. They've got, you know, just little scraps to pay for things. So they're doing what they can. They're not that you would advise this, but maybe they're going on the internet and they're finding other people's terms and conditions. And maybe they're sort of using like bootlegging it. The things to get right are company structure and shareholder agreement.
The company structure is so important.
Right.
Well, because that's what you're engaging all parties via.
So
And all of the tax implications.
and the protection, like the limited liability, like all these other things, protecting yourself correctly. So your saying used to always be, it's all well and good while everyone's doing deals, but as soon as things go wrong, what's everyone looking for? The agreement, whatever the structure, the agreement, the shareholder agreement. Now, let's say your business starts out, you're thinking small at the start because it is small, but you've got a plan for what if this thing kicks off.
Yeah.
And like you say, you're in business with someone. They might in this season be your partner, but they might not be, or you might not be wanting to do the next season. So you have to think a little bit ahead. Yeah, maybe you could speak to that as to the value of the shareholder agreement and the value of the correct company structure.
I actually had a conversation with clients yesterday about the shareholder agreement, and it's funny because the things that you have to talk about when you're discussing a shareholder agreement can be quite uncomfortable.
Yes, yes.
And I try and break the ice by
It's like
saying,
a prenup.
well, that's exactly
Yeah.
what I say. I say, look, guys, I know it's crappy to talk about what if one of you dies or one of you just decides not to turn up anymore,
Or falls in love and moves to Mallorca.
right? Because at the moment you're engaged, you're in love, everything's great. But this is the prenup, and the whole point of the prenup or the shareholders agreement is to protect you both if and when things don't go according to plan.
Right.
Because we just don't know what we don't know. So it kind of, there has to be a really candid, open conversation. And I think it is such a good process for people who are going into business together to spend the time and money doing this, because it forces you to actually explain to one another what you expect from each other.
I wonder if we should do a quick webinar on this
Okay.
and get like 6 people watching it.
Yeah, anyway, so I love doing shareholder agreements. I think that it's if you do it and you end up in a dispute, I think you're in a much better place, because it's like everyone has already understood the rules of engagement from day one. Because you know what people don't understand? I always talk about hats. People think about themselves as I'm an owner.
Yeah.
And I work in the business, and you work in the business, and you have all these different hats, and people don't realise that when you own 50% of a business, unless there is some documentation in place, you own it, whether or not you're rocking up to work every day or not.
Right.
So that business, you could just disappear.
Yeah.
That business could make a whole lot of money off the back of the other person's hard work.
Sure.
You're still entitled to your 50%.
Yeah.
Whereas people get confused about all the delineations in the type of hat you're wearing in a business: director, employee, shareholder.
So
they're
what
all
someone might think, let's say you and I are in business, and let's say that in year 3 you just disappear.
Yeah.
Or let's say I just disappear.
Well, I'm not giving them 50% of the dividends.
Guess what, buddy?
You are.
Right.
So anyway, shareholders agreement, it's expensive.
Yeah. What would be the skinniest way to get, like the cheapest?
I'm not saying it on here.
Okay, no, fair enough. No. You're right. No,
I'll cause a riot.
No, fair. Okay, so then...
Not because I'm expensive, but because I don't really want to have lawyers coming in my thing.
Well, you're actually not expensive, and you're extremely efficient. You're actually on both ends.
If you want to know how much I charge, give me a call.
Yes, that's a very good call. Yeah, let me just say, I mean, I don't want to get in this. I'm just going to say I don't care. You're not going to do better than Laura Raki if you have this issue. So if you want to talk shareholder agreement, call her. Because you've seen all stages of... and not only that, you understand business. Like your commercial head is much better. Well, anyway.
So definitely it's worth the investment. And
now,
then what was the second part? Structure.
Yeah. Now, I don't. People are going to fall asleep if we start talking about structure. But what I would say is to speak to someone who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yes.
When it comes to structure.
Yes.
And
an accountant.
Yes, an accountant, and not just any accountant. An accountant who understands what they're talking about. Now, how do you know that? They're going to draw out for you the structure and explain it to you in a way that makes sense to you as a non-accountant, right? If they cannot explain to you the value of this trust, this proprietary limited company, this discretionary trust, whatever they're setting up, if they cannot explain it to you, my opinion, go and talk to someone who knows what they're doing.
And they have to understand what your plans are long term, because that will impact. If you're, I don't know, going to have a candle business and you're going to work from home and you're probably going to make 30 grand a year,
doesn't really matter.
Maybe the compliance of setting up this complex structure is not worthwhile. But if you've got if you're dealing with risk, you're going to have employees, yes. And also, can I say, try and get an accountant and a lawyer who are good at talking to each other.
Yes.
Because all the accountants I work with are excellent at picking up the phone and calling me, and I will call them. And I think that cuts through a whole heap of drama.
I would also say that you can evolve into your lawyers and accountants as you go. Like as in you can change that later down the line. I have a very good client who always says to me, people don't change their doctor very often. They don't change their accountant very often. They don't change their engineer very often, their engineering company. And he goes that he's like that he puts all these services in a bucket, but it doesn't mean you can't change.
No,
so
that's true.
Accountant 1 is competent. Most accountants are competent. So let's just say you might have levels later on that you need to step up, or you think you do, but you can always change that later on. So final one, if you do really well, right? If the company does really well, you grow, you've got 100 people, you're making all this money, this is something also to think about, right? I have seen now in the last decade all these succession issues. Now, people aren't thinking about that in minute 1. We've got time. It's okay. I know exactly where we are. We're going for 24 minutes.
Okay.
Set it up correctly from minute 1, because later it will come and bite you, right?
Yes.
And be every 6 months or so, meet with the people that you're in business with and agree on the direction that you're heading in, right? Yep. Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page? If someone wants to leave, let them leave, pay them out. It's going to hurt, but get them out, because it is nothing compared to what you're going to make later on, right? I think you would share that advice. If someone wants to go and they're not, get them out. Okay. Set up correctly, call Laura Raki. That's basically the bottom line, is it?
take a ticket. I'm stressed. Don't say things like.
We're going to do anxiety next after this, so
Okay.
let's take a little break so you can relax.
Okay.
I was just about to start singing the song Anxiety because super producer Charlie was singing it, but then I'm like,
I was singing
I can't.
it.
Was it you as well? Was everybody singing? I thought
Were you singing it too?
I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I was looking somewhere else. So it wasn't. It was okay. Let's talk about anxiety.
Okay.
Right? And I want to immediately asterisk by saying non-medical level, right? As in when you're living your normal life and you can feel that, we talked about an event coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
For us, that would mean anxiety, more than you, anxiety would start to build. What I would love to talk about today is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe ideas on what we do when anxiety starts to increase for us to temper it, to misdirect, to move away from it, and possibly, right? Now I'll just open the bidding and say, when anxiety starts to rise for me, we'll just list them. One thing that works is exercise.
Every day of the week.
And it doesn't even need to be like hardcore. If I'm feeling anxiety rising and I can feel it because I feel a tension and I don't notice it till I notice it.
Yeah.
And like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, I might start arguing with people or I might start whatever. I need to go for a walk. I need to go to the gym. I need to move around the house and do things around the house.
Yes.
Right? I need to move. Mm-hmm. Why does that work?
I don't know. They say that like that sometimes you have to move the anxiety through your body. Maybe it changed. Well, I actually saw something that said that when you're walking, your eyes are doing a particular thing that is like that therapy. What is it? EMR, EDMR.
This is Science Corner now. I love it.
So your eyes move
Right.
because you're walking. You have to be looking in your
all the
peripheral
directions, yeah.
vision. And there is some science behind what it does to your brain.
Interesting.
But I think just movement, you get the endorphins.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think that when you do particular types of exercise, the anxiety you're feeling in your body, like if you're tight here or whatever,
You can
like
open it up.
you physically can't hold it
So
after the movement.
when anxiety is heading up for you, I can tell sometimes, and you go to Pilates and you come back and it's not gone, but it's gone, right? As in the acute effect on you has disappeared. Only if you have a good teacher, or
Which
a good
is
instructor,
always.
which is always, that's right. Right. So what does that do for you? Why Pilates? Why not something else? Do you think?
I think the combination of having to focus and concentrate on the movements in Pilates and listening to the cues, being really, really conscious of my body helps. So if, like for sure, going to the gym, lifting weights, whatever, would still have me feeling good. If it's very bad and my brain is running at 100 miles an hour in the gym, I will just be like,
and so it doesn't help you, like it doesn't.
because I can't. I have to so consciously get out of the loop of thinking that I'm in. So I'll just be like rage weightlifting, like and then they said this, and oh my god, in my brain will be doing that. Whereas for me in Pilates, like if my mind wanders, I'll bloody fall off the thing.
Yes, you will.
Right? Like I'll end up on the other side of the room. So I have to just walk in.
So
It's like you give yourself over to you're present. It's the being present in Pilates for me. But like you said, moving around the house, for me, if I've got it, sometimes it's just finding the easy kills.
So wonder if it's some of its agency.
Yeah.
Okay, so one way I describe anxiety, and this is not my original, but is many minds, right? So anxiety is having every possible option in the world available to you.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming, let's say, right? That's one way of looking at it. It's not the way of looking at it, but it's one way. And so maybe focusing on doing one thing,
Yeah.
right, is what quietens all those other potential options. So if your anxiety is because you're overwhelmed by choices available, it is a good idea to pick one bloody thing and lock in and do it. Now that might be ludicrously vacuuming your house.
Yep.
Cleaning up a room that has been bugging you. And the saying would be, there's a thing I'm avoiding doing and I'll do anything to avoid doing it. Therefore, I'll do the thing I hate the most to avoid doing the other thing. So using that leverage is a double win.
it's, it's very much like, I know I'm getting off course, but I think when you think about doing the thing, the Pilates or vacuuming or whatever, it's the presence. It's being in the now.
Yeah.
And so
Now.
like I'm in Ram Dass land at the moment.
You
I'm
are.
listening to him again. I love him so much. Anyway, Eckhart Tolle talks about it too. It's like whatever you're doing, be fully doing that. So if you're washing the dishes, just wash the dish, be present. Think about the dish in your hand, the heat of the water, the feeling of the sponge. Like, be in that. And when you do that, like you said, it will slow your mind.
Well, you can't live in anxiety land if you like
Here.
narrowly focused on the
Here.
thing. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think the movement, it just, again, it doesn't have to be going to a class. It doesn't have to be going to the gym. It can just be sitting on the floor, putting your music on and stretching.
Or vacuuming.
Or vacuuming.
Okay. So working out what works for you is very valuable. Now, we've worked out what's worked for us. Now, here's another thing that works for me. Making a list of all the things going on.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly if it's that many mind situation, I'm like, I've got to do this. So I'll make the list and start going down through it, right?
Yep.
And go, right, this is the thing I need to do now. And of course, it's something that I've built up in my head 10,000 times bigger than it actually is.
Always.
And when you do it, it's 6 minutes and you're like, what the hell was
Well, they say that the antidote to exam anxiety is to study.
Of course it is.
Right?
And just like, okay, so I'll get to another one in a minute. But so you make the list. You go, this is what is bothering me. Can I fix it or not? Can I tackle it or not? And in a way, if it's something you can't, let's say you got this a future thing you can't do anything about, maybe you can mentally put it in another bucket. I don't know how. Well, good luck to you trying to work that out. But if there's things you can fix, you start fixing them.
Sometimes doing the list, sometimes you don't know what's stressing you out.
Yeah.
And then you write the list and then you go, it's this thing on the list.
That happens to you all the time.
All the time.
That's funny you say that.
And it's very weird things that would cause it for me. And it could be like a phone call that's booked in 3 days. And there's just something about that phone call that's not sitting right with me. And it's like this underlying simmering thing. And until it's done, I'm going to feel it.
So is the world. You make the rain come, honey, remember?
Yeah, I remember. So I think just having the awareness to say, okay, like last week, was it last week? My Friday was like, it was ridiculous. I don't even know how I booked it like that.
I don't either.
It was an error, but it was literal back-to-back meetings, calls. Like it was just so many things locked in one day, right through to the evening.
It was amateur hour by you. Yes.
And on Tuesday, 3 days before, I said, I don't know why this week, it's only Tuesday, this week feels like such a grind.
I knew.
I'm stressed, I'm tired, I don't know why. And you said, it's because your Friday is.
Yes.
And the second you said that, I was like, you're exactly right. It was the build up. It was already me thinking, how am I going to do this day? This day is too much for me.
Yes.
Once I accepted that that's what was causing it, I was like, and I've talked about this before, I was like, well, I'm just going to get on the roller coaster on Friday morning.
Yeah, it's out of your hands. Let it run.
Get on the roller coaster and I'm like, woo, because I cannot control this day. I am rolling from one thing to another. It will all work out. It'll be fine.
So here's another beautiful thing that works for me sometimes when I'm stuck in that, let's say that exact situation. I think to myself, in 3 or 6 months, will this matter at all? Right? And it's like, I will forget that this day even happened.
In 3 days, it won't matter.
Right. So, we compress pretty fast. But that is when you're coming up to something, you're like, all right, you could go to the next level and say, you know what, I can actually really crush it on this day and really turn into it, shoulder in, like you say, and be like, I can make some things happen out of this.
Have a fun day.
And make it fun, right? Because it's in our control, but it's not always easy. So I'm not saying it's easy, but you go, all right, I've got this thing coming up. I'm really anxious about it. Oh my goodness, I've got anxiety. Go, hang on a minute. I did exactly the same thing 3 months, 9 months, 12 months ago. I don't remember them. So it's going to be fine, right? Just, we can get past that.
But there's that to say, well, nothing turns on it. but also you have the awareness, you accept that it's something that's bothering you. And then maybe you can go to the next level and say, well, what is it about this phone call that's bothering me? Like, am I unprepared? Did I have, is this person a difficult person? What is it?
Do I not trust them?
Right? And then potentially there are things that you can do on your own.
Saying going to level 2.
This is level 2. It's like, okay, well, what can I address about this thing that's causing me anxiety?
So 20 years ago, and even less, I would go even to friends' events and turn around and go home at times. Not all the time, not every time, but sometimes. And like, it was a real problem. It's just being around anything more than like 5 people would be a massive problem for me. Like, so I get it to anyone who thinks that way and gets anxious over things that other people would not understand at all.
Yeah.
Like, people in my family who are natural extroverts were like, what are you talking about, right? And for me, I'll look at them and they're like, let's go here, let's go there. I'm like, what are you talking about, right? And so I think, let's take even, like, go to level -1 or level 3, I'm not sure. What's my natural resting position? Like, what's my wiring doing? So yeah, you might decide to unpick that wiring and try and do things about it, but let's at least first understand what that wiring is. Every time I come up to this situation, I get into an anxiety bubble, right? And I take it out on everyone around me, and I do, and it's like, why is that happening? What is it? And then maybe when you start turning the cogs on that, you might find that, oh, this doesn't actually bother me at all. It's habit, because I, as a teenager, was nervous about it. I've actually unwound things that I've found that earlier on and I was actually had a habit that I would get anxious about a certain thing coming up every 6 months or year. And then I'd be like, hang on a minute, that was yesterday's anxiety. That's not today's anxiety. Anyway, so movement, lists, many minds focus one thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Being aware.
Awareness. Think long.
But part of what you were saying is actually, I think, accepting it as well. Like, because we can get ourselves into knots being like, this shouldn't be stressing me out.
Oh.
And I do this all the time where I'm like, why is this stressing me out? This is dumb.
Side quest. Should. Can you please do a little bit on should? The word should.
I don't want to.
Side quest. I'll help you.
I'm in a good mood.
The word should be booted. And this is from my fabulous cousin. I hope she's watching. I'll be calling you. And she explained it to me one day when I was getting in a should trap. And I'm like, oh, I should be doing this and I should have done that and anxiety. She's like, Christian, what are you talking about? Get that word out of your vernacular. You did it or you didn't.
Yeah.
You're doing it or you're not. There's no should. Choice is yours.
Yep.
Thank you, cousin, sister cousin. Saved my ass that day. And it changed, like, it moved me again another inch that way and helped me build where I am today. Is that, okay, maybe I should have, in inverted commas, separating that word now, taking the heat out of it. Maybe I should have done that, but I didn't. So what is the point? Like, what is the point sitting here and rewiring it? Okay, what am I going to do?
So if you're anxious about giving a presentation at work,
yes,
and you're saying to yourself, this shouldn't stress me out.
Oh.
I'm really senior. Everybody else in my team manages to do this without getting nervous. There's something wrong with me. No, you are what you are.
Yes.
It does stress you out. What can you do about it? Beating yourself up, and then I think almost going into denial to be like, well, this is dumb that I'm stressed. I shouldn't be stressed. That's not going to solve your problem.
Yeah.
It's going to make you feel guilty.
Much worse.
You might compress down the anxiety and it's just going to explode somewhere else. This makes me anxious.
Yeah.
That's okay. What am I going to do about it?
Very good. Very good example.
So for me, it's like I will never organise a Friday like I did 2 Fridays ago.
My memory is that you were trying to have Fridays off. But you're going the other way. Anyway.
We're in the end of October. I haven't had one off this whole year.
Let's park a conversation on public speaking another day, because I've had, like, over the years, a lot of people mention, and it's like the anxiety attached to public speaking to me is exactly the same as it was when I was younger. Like,
really?
You just get better at it. Like, you get technically better at it. No, it's not as high, but it's still there. But public speaking is a bloody good example because everyone can empathise with that. And you see those, I don't know, you see those surveys where people are more fearful of public speaking than they are of death. And it's like, come on, mate. But also understand it. So, yeah, you are who you are. The wiring is what it is. You can decide to unpick that wiring and try and fix it, but at least knowing what it is, understanding and accepting it, then you can say, okay, I know this makes me anxious, therefore I'm going to do X, Y, Z.
Build your guardrails.
Not it shouldn't affect me. I should be like the person over there. By the way, also, you don't know what affects them.
No.
Right? They might just be better at covering it. Okay? And they might have built skills around it. Anyway, so anything else to add on anxiety, ways to
Well, we've
catch
talked
it?
about this before, and that's getting small.
Yes.
That's a big
our
one for
favourite.
us. And it's not just when there's anxiety, it's just with the overwhelm. So
There's
that's
a
just,
swirl.
I think part of that is your list and maybe freeing yourself from some of the things on the list if you can, and saying, well, I'm just not going to do that. You know, for example, if
Let's hang on to getting small. So getting small for us is when things are overwhelming, we do what?
we do essentials, we become essentialists.
Yes.
And so, for example, you might be someone who's really connected to your family, for example, and you're always calling your mum and your siblings and your grandma and whatever, every single day, 5 times a day, whatever. You might just text them that morning and say, hey guys, I'm really busy at the moment.
Next few days.
You won't hear from me today or tomorrow, but don't worry. I'm just focusing on, I'm just going to close that.
Just one less thing.
Close that box for a minute. Okay, what's next? Yeah. And then slowly. And if you've got a coffee catch up or whatever, and it's just come at a really bad time, reach out to that friend. This is not a good time.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to catching up. Okay, good.
Call you in 3 days.
That's one more thing.
Tick, 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 tick.
Right?
I was going to do this for next 2 days' dinners, but now I'm going to go simple. Like I'm not going to go to this place and that place.
Right.
I'm going to go essential.
We're getting takeaway for the kids. Whatever it is.
Yes.
Slowly whittle down. So it means that hopefully as well at the end of a day, there's very little to do. And you can decompress, read a book, have a bath, watch dumb TV, be at the gym for 2 hours, just to give yourself that breathing space.
Because you're not a machine, and you need to understand that sometimes you're going to get overwhelmed, and if you keep pushing, you're borrowing from future energy. Like you need to restart your motor, and to do that is getting small.
Yeah.
Is to make, like, again, to come back to a list. I know we love our lists. But you list all the things you must do, essentials.
Yeah.
You got to take the kids to school. The kids can't start, or whatever, however you arrange that, or sport or whatever. They can't get a helicopter there, right? So you still do the things you have to do, but you get rid of anything you don't need to do. You get, you remind yourself of why you're doing it, where you're heading, what your direction is, maybe what you value. Because we just drift. We get a bit out over our skis sometimes, and you just have to pull it all back in a little bit.
Till you feel better, and then you'll be able to tackle everything.
And you start that mountain all over again. Okay, so I like that list, and the awareness is useful. So if you're in an anxiety loop where every month or 6 weeks or 4, whatever it is, you're coming up with this rises, and then you prick the balloon, like it's worth starting to look at the points of rising.
Yeah.
And remove some things out of
What are the patterns?
One might be you're more introverted than you think. So you're having big weekend, and of course social lubricant, maybe you're out there, that masks your introversion.
Yeah.
But then you have 3, 4, 5 days you feel like crap. And you're like, oh, it's the alcohol. Guess what, buddy? Yes, of course it's the alcohol, but also it could be that you're a massive introvert and that your battery has been flattened.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're finding yourself in a situation where it's like, oh, why am I feeling like that could be, and the anxiety rises, and you're like, that could be it. So start to at least be aware of what's going on. Happy with that?
Love it.
I
Awareness.
like it.
We're
We've
big
just
on
solved
awareness.
anxiety. Can you believe it? I'm going to go to my list. Now,
Have we got time?
we've always got time. I think we've got time. We've got about 10 minutes. We've got managing competitive colleagues or hoarding contacts, or both.
Let's do competitive colleagues.
Okay. The reason this makes us laugh is that when we talked about this morning, I said, Laura, what? Because the question was actually specifically around women, is that like competing against women colleagues. And that's all the context that we have. And I said, Laura, what's your natural reaction to competing against women and colleagues in your career before you started your own business? And you said?
I don't compete. I don't compete. And actually, I think that's actually the best advice I could give.
But sorry, by the way, I'm going to separate these two things. That is the best advice, and we will do that advice in a moment. But the way you said it is, I'm thinking you're going to go, yeah, well, I think I do about, and you're like, I don't compete.
So
what?
I'll be honest. I am. This is very conflicting. On one hand, I don't compete. So I never competed in an employment setting.
Yeah.
I refused. Right, and we'll go into how I refused in two different ways. And then and I don't compete in the market. Like I don't compete. I'm not. If you call me and you're like, oh, another lawyer can do it, I'm like, see, I have fun with that person.
Yes.
Like, I'm not interested. I'm doing my thing. You like me or you don't, right?
Yes.
But I choose my ops quietly in my brain.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, we all need something to chase. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I compete, that's where I'm like, oh, I can see somebody else is doing whatever they can do, I can do better. They might not even know I exist.
Oh, so you choose your enemies wisely.
Choose my enemies wisely. And they're just like in my head.
But you mean, yeah, that's right. So you create competition for you to compete against, even though that person is an avatar in your head.
Right. And then I surpass them, and then I'm like, I come to you and I'm like, okay, well, I did the thing now.
What's next?
I have to find something new, right?
And some of them are real. You've had a couple of real ones, but
they would never know.
No.
The market would never know.
But you've had real targets that you've set, and then you've attached a human to it, and it's like, okay. Right. But so, no, broadly they are entirely invented. Like Michael Jordan used to do that. He used to invent that this guy had said this thing about him.
So he'd get angry on the court.
And I think maybe even he got leaked once.
Yeah.
Like either he said it to a reporter or he got it leaked to a reporter that this player had said this thing about him, so it's in the press maybe, and then he turned up at the game and he was and he went at him. He scored 50 or whatever. So you, Michael Jordan.
I'll just finish my little trauma dump or whatever, and then you can actually be useful. But for me,
be useful
in an employment setting, competition.
Yeah.
In air quotes, there was two ways I reacted to it. First, if a peer or even someone at a different seniority had pegged me as a competitor, I just black them out. I just do my job and I do it as best I can.
You forget they exist.
And I don't, I forget they exist. It's like, well, good luck to you. Maybe I'm your op. I might be driving you. Maybe I'll help you be better at what you're doing.
Yep.
You're welcome. But I'm not going to, in any sort of outward way, demonstrate externally that I view myself as in competition with that other person. No way. I just absolutely...
Is that to not give them the satisfaction? Or is
it doesn't interest me.
Got it.
It's like they say if you light someone's candle, I don't know, if you're running a race and they break your leg, you don't run faster.
You lose no light by lighting another candle.
But the one that I use, which doesn't kind of make sense because you'd win the race, but breaking somebody else's leg doesn't make you run faster.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm just going to run as fast as I can.
It's you against you.
Regardless of what you're doing.
I love it.
That's my advice. If you've got people competing with you in the workplace and it's stressing you out, block them out.
Do your thing.
Who cares?
Yes.
That's their trip.
But then there are races to win.
Sure, but you feeding into that noise, that energy, will not make you run faster.
Yeah.
Focus on what's going to
run slower.
Focus on what's going to make you run faster.
Right.
That's my advice.
What makes your beer taste better? That's the old saying.
Okay.
Right? What's going to make my beer taste better?
What makes your beer taste? Fine. So, if you're a woman, you're in a competitive workplace, block it out. Be mature. Compete with yourself. Improve on yourself every single day. Be smart. If that competitor, if that peer is doing something great and you can learn from it,
adapt
brilliant.
It, yeah.
But do not buy into that.
No sticks in the spokes.
Now, I'll caveat this by saying the second part of my response to competition is in the one or two instances in my career where my leaders told me I was being compared to and in competition with other people.
What'd you do, Raki?
Well, I'm out. See ya. because I refuse to participate in that.
Yep.
And I refuse to have somebody, a leader, say to me, oh, depending on the day, you're in the front or this person's. I'm not into that. I absolutely will not be compared to other people in the workplace.
Yep.
You compare me to me and my work output, and maybe it's not the best approach, but that's my personal way of
No,
dealing
you've got to
with
do
things.
your thing. Can I ask you one question? If one of those people was a top gun and maybe more competent than you, would that have changed the way you looked at it?
But then it's not like
I'm
competition. It's actually saying you're not as good as this person and this is what you should work towards. That's
You
different.
could live with it.
Not you're both up for this top job and I can't quite work out which one of you should get it. See ya. If you can't work out that it should be...
No, and by the way, but there's no other way you can be you.
This
Like
is
that's
me.
you, right?
This is me.
And if you try and be something else and you try and thrive in that environment when you're thinking, you're going to fall on your
So
face. Like that's going to be a
I'm
mess.
very clear. I'm very aware that those two things that I've just said, first, if someone's competing with you, block it out. Then second, if I'm told I'm in competition with someone, I'm out of the game. I get that those two things seem incongruent, but for me, they're very different things.
Yes.
Anyway, that's my little competition thing. If you're a woman in the workplace, someone is competing with you, block them out, focus on what you're doing, compete with yourself, improve every day, get competent, get excellent.
Don't leave them in your dust.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Let them
Now,
stress about
do
you.
we have time for me to finish this segment, Super Producer Charlie, or do we need a reset? Do we need a little break? I think we'll have a little break, and I'm going to then do the Machiavellian
Please.
side of this. All right, we're back. Now, I love your version where you basically say it's you against you, and you go run your race, and really there is, in the end, there's no competition. I agree with everything you just said.
Sorry, just so I'm clear. If someone told me you could improve,
Yeah.
use this person as
Oh,
your
of course.
goal, I would accept that and I would work on that. But not being pitted. I'm not into being pitted against somebody else.
There's a grubbiness about that.
I'm not into
and
it.
I've actually seen that in teams where a manager, and usually not a good one, is using that as an undermining tactic, right? And what they're doing is they're actually suppressing everybody. By competing people against each other, it becomes Darwinistic and it becomes quite nasty. It can become quite
I'm
nasty.
not about
So
it.
that is a race to the bottom. If you're saying, oh, you two are in competition for this role, like it's like I would opt out too. I'm not interested in that game either. There's this little tiny sick part of me that would be like, yeah, I'm going to win this. But then, but in the end, I wouldn't do it. So anyway, if you decide that you want to do exactly what you just said and go and run your race, but you also want to, just keep a little side eye as to how you're going to slow down your opponent without breaking their leg, there are a few things you can do.
Whoa, Christian. So we this is dastardly stuff.
We're going into the dark.
Okay.
Let's go. I can't remember what he say, Bane. I was born in the dark.
Stop.
You simply adopted it, something like that.
Let's get to it. Come on,
So,
I've got a meeting.
yeah, all right, calm down. So, if you're in a situation where you have one or two, let's say, colleagues who are competing with you, and whatever that means for you in the situation that you're in, there are a few ways you can, let's just say, get an advantage. Number one is to see what their strengths are. So let's say they're really strong, gregarious people. They communicate really well, but they're really weak on attention to detail, right?
Yeah.
So they want to go and make all the moves, and they're really they're eye-catching, but their actual delivery is quite low, and you know that, right? And you're really strong on delivery. What you can do is take many opportunities to snow them with accountability. And if you snow an unaccountable person with accountability for long enough, they will eventually crack, right? Because let's say this is a person who sends out these performative emails that goes, guys, we really should do this and we really should do that. And like everyone's like, yeah, that's a great idea, right? And then some poor bugger, probably you, is left in the corner to have to deliver it. This is the response to that email. Love to do that. Really happy to advance it. Please send me this information. This is what I need. And I cannot wait to get started on this for you. Maybe not that too. I really am looking forward to getting started on this for you. And they never send it. They won't, right? They won't research it. They won't put it together. They won't send it. Then a week later, oh, remember that thing? Are we doing that thing? Yep. Waiting for you to deliver me this thing. And everyone's copied in, right?
Yep.
This is Machiavellian. This is not pretty. And again, over an extended period of time, people start to go, yeah, maybe there's a couple of gaps in this person, right? Maybe this person's delivery is not at the level, right? And so when it comes to competition decision-making time, they might be like, we've got a bit of doubt. Like, what do you actually do here?
Yeah.
Right? You're making all this noise. And because they're sexy, right? And I mean that in like in their attributes. They're attractive, let's say. No one looks under the hood because they're like, because they feel like they're competent.
So you want to highlight all of their deficiencies is what you're saying.
Or at least their biggest one, right? And you do it very patiently.
Yeah.
And you do it in a way that is fair. It's actually, you're not doing anything nasty. You're being fair. When they're suggesting that we should do X, you ask them to deliver X, Y, Z so we can do X, right? And they'll never do it. They'll never do it. Now, where this is dangerous is if they are very well connected, there's nepotism or any of that sort of thing, you can't probably win that battle. You have to be very careful about taking on that battle. But if they are a noisy cricket going around and making all these promises, delivering nothing, then you find out where their weakness is. Now, if it's the contrary, if they're extremely good on detail but poor on communication, and you really want to be nasty, want to compete with them, you keep putting them in positions where they have to communicate publicly. And like you just keep working and you just keep angling, right? Now, this is if you want to compete in the nasty way. I'm not saying you should do this, right? I'm saying this is ways that you can do it. Now, you can go to the next level if you want to, but I'm not going to talk about that here.
Oh.
That's in the paid section of the...
Did I read that Machiavelli, what he wrote was he was writing to a friend and he was like, what if you just don't play by the rules? And it was a joke. It was satire.
I don't know that it was a joke, but I don't think it was meant to be an instructive manual.
Right?
Yeah.
Because...
But I think it was... I think, look, who knows about who any of these people were, but I think we're in pretty bad dude territory.
But I think it's just like when everybody complies with the silent rules of society.
Yeah.
That the reality is that if you go outside of it with no regard for other people's well-being or...
No, so you can go way further than what I just said. What I said is the fair white hat
No, what I'm saying
version.
is if you just disregard and you just are a prick, like you actually can have excellent outcomes because nobody is expecting that.
For a while.
For a while,
right?
Sure.
So if you're going to do this sort of stuff, the reason I suggest... Like if there's a party that wants to do it, you should do the white hat version because you're living in this society, this ecosystem. Markets are small. People know each other. If you overstep and you're nasty or dirty or underhanded and you get caught, you can destroy your entire career. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Right? And what you're talking about is what you should be doing is saying, well, I'm going to run my race. I'm not going to be stupid and naive. I'm going to position myself correctly because it's not just good enough to do the job. You have to know how to communicate. But I'm not going to even like stick the stick in the spokes, right?
Yeah.
But what I might do is if they've got a huge deficiency and they're skating on other people's work, I might just snow them with a bit of accountability and let nature take its course, right? If they're trying to use me, dumping all this shit on me for me to do, I'm going to send it all back.
Yeah.
And then 6-9 months later, let's see where they are.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to play competition, this is a way to do it. 1, run your own race. 2, be bloody good. Just like, let's be honest, you're probably going at 40% of your capacity, and any of us at any time, we could be much more serious if we wanted to be. We've talked last week about young people learning. Like, go and learn more. Commercial, functional, operational, product, customer, marketing, like learn more.
Yeah.
Become better. Make it so that it's not even a competition.
That's how you compete.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. But if you are in this like situation and you get a little rib tickle out of it to want to take on the competition, find their weakness and snow them with it. And if particularly they're skating on other people's work, find where they're skating on other people's work and shine the biggest effing torch you can find on it for as long as possible, and then just leave it there, right? And just be like, hey.
I enjoy this.
There's worse.
For sure.
I mean, I can tell you how to win.
We don't condone that sort
but
of behaviour.
I don't think it's worth it.
No.
Right? Winning dirty
also
is not worth it.
It's like if that's where you're putting your energy, it's going to take away from putting your energy on developing your excellence. And I'm not about that.
No, it's more than that. It actually is. If you go, everything you do is like you know the picture of Dorian Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Picture of Dorian Gray. Everything you do is reflected back into your soul. My opinion.
Of course.
Right. And your karma, whatever you want to call it. If you go out there and do the dirty work, you see these people who get to the top, and they've done some nasty business, because to get to the top, you have to top. You have to be at times a bit nasty. You think they're winning, they're not. No one gets away with anything. In the end, the burden, the black mark on their soul, is not worth the goddamn price. So, if you want to play underhanded, I can tell you how to do it, but I don't recommend you do it. I think you start by being the best possible version of you that you can. You're leaving a shitload of capability on the table. You're not doing everything you could be doing. Let's be honest. None of us are. Me, you, any of us. We could all be 3 times better than we are if we were serious. Do that. Then maybe think about the in the side. But the white hat version is to snow them with accountability in areas that they're weak.
I like it.
Yeah, and then let nature take its course. Yeah. Do you want to do hoarding contacts, or do you want to call it?
We've got to call it, sorry.
Okay. Thank you for today.
Thank you.
We'll have some fashion updates in the next coming weeks. You got a bit going on at the moment, Laura Raki.
I don't even know if we call it fashion. It's fun. It's outfit fun.
I just want to say something.
Yes.
And this is, I'm saying to you this as if there's no cameras or microphones. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You're doing very well.
Thank you.
And I know that you've been going through it, and you have risen to the challenge, as you bloody always do.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
and we're
you.
just getting started.
Exciting.
Let's just stop.